Hello, friends. My name is Sarah Van Steenkist. I'm a Presidential Diamond, and I'm so excited to be talking to you a little bit about comparison. Now, you've probably all heard the saying, comparison is the thief of joy. And while I agree with that, I want to expand that a little bit because comparison is not only the thief of joy, it is the thief of so many things. It's the thief of light and growth and movement and belief and love. And if we are not aware of it, it's very easy to let it take hold and to let it be a part of who we are. And a lot of times it's just being aware and present and not letting it take our joy, and working on it and being honest with ourselves about it. And especially as you step into leadership at Diamond and above, as you're moving into that space, it can be really hard. It can be really challenging. And that's why we're here to talk about it. So I want to talk to you a little bit about genealogy. You probably know your upline mentors, right? You probably have a relationship with them. Well, I want to talk to you about when I came into this business and got acquainted with my upline mentors, and their names are Melina Harrison. Maybe some of you might know her, Brianne Hovey, and then Alicia Devi, who you might have heard of. And I was overwhelmed. I really was overwhelmed. Now, I have felt like a strong woman. I felt like I had accomplished a lot. I had 3 babies, and I have 2 more now. And I felt like I am a nurse, and I was working at a hospital, and I felt accomplished, and I felt proud of myself. But suddenly, I found myself surrounded by this caliber of human that had been very successful with doTERRA in the sales world, in their job, and I felt really overwhelmed and a little bit not enough. I looked at these powerhouse women and I asked myself, I remember literally asking myself the question, who am I, Sarah? Who are you to think you can do what these women have done? I remember feeling that way. You're not like them. You're not strong like them. You're not outgoing like them. You're not an extrovert like that. You're not. And I let that get in my head a lot. And if I had lived in that place, if I had allowed myself to remain in that space, I never could have been successful within doTERRA. I never would have grown. I never would have been able to move out of that place because it was the thief of all the good things. And so I had to move out of that place. And I was reminded, not too long into my journey, I was reminded of something my mom, it always comes back to what your mom's taught you, right? Something my mom always said to me and to my brothers and sisters growing up. And she said, you bring your good time with you. And that's true, right? We bring you are the only one in charge of bringing your good time, of bringing your positive experience, of bringing your smile. It's up to you. And when I applied that to my business, right, when I was able to step out of that place of comparison and really apply that good time, the good that I bring, that Sarah brings to my business, that is when I started to flourish. And that's when I started to thrive within my business. Now, we're all learning back to basics. We all know the things that it takes to build this business effectively, right? We know the things, teaching and enrolling and supporting and mentoring and all the things that back to basics that we have been learning and duplicating within our teams. But after that, after you get, and as you're learning, that is when you get to add the sparkle and the look and the feel and the joy or the lack of joy into your business. Once you find your voice, and that's what I was able to do, is to work beyond that thief and not allow that presence and that negativity and that the absence of joy to take hold in my business, and really find my own voice, my own sparkle, and apply that to my business. And I was able to see my business in a more abundant way. And that's really what it comes down to. When we're holding on to fear and you're holding on to looking down and up and across the line and comparing yourself to other people, you feel very scarce. You feel limited in your ability to perform. But when you're able to see beyond that and add your own light to your work, then you live in a place of abundance. And that is really a happy place to be. I think the more you give, the more there is to give, the more there is to receive. Light attracts light. All of those good things come to you. Now, as I've grown into leadership, as I've stepped in from diamond to blue to presidential, you slip, right? There are times where I find myself slipping and moving backwards. And sometimes I'm not just looking up at these beautiful powerhouse women that have been there to support me all along, but I'm looking to the side. I'm seeing my crossline friends and all the powerful things they're doing. And I'm seeing my own team. I'm seeing my own leaders that are rising up and they're doing amazing things. And they're different than me. And maybe they're better at some things than I am. And so the words that come to me are panic and overwhelm. And I see all the things, and sometimes it becomes a distraction. All the things become a distraction. It makes me feel, or I have a tendency to feel like I'm not doing enough when I'm looking and I'm seeing all the things that everybody has to do. And so I found that even in these places, even as I'm growing as a leader, I'm still feeling these things. It's very natural and it's very easy to do. And I found the best thing that I can do, the very best thing I can do is I can pause. I can take a deep breath in. I can focus on my strengths and find my joy. And if I am desperately grasping at things that other people are doing just because other people are doing them, and it's sucking the joy, it's sucking the light, and it's sucking the fun out of my growth in my business, it's time to pull back. It's time to realize that thing isn't for me. I need to focus in on what things bring me joy, what adds light to my business, what feels light and what feels good and what's working for me. And what are my strengths and how can I bring my strengths into focus instead of focusing on other people's strengths that might not be mine. And they are all a distraction. All of that noise is a distraction. That panic and overwhelm and fear and not enoughness is just a distraction from what you need to be doing in your business. And that is where the joy comes. So hopefully you haven't experienced this on a great level, but you probably have, and you probably will if you haven't already. So perhaps you can remember to bring your own good time with you, to take hold and recognize and really maybe get to know what makes you so wonderful and what attracts people in to you and your business. And stay there, stay in that place, stay in that space of joy and light, and don't let comparison steal your joy. Have a wonderful day. Bye.